£20 a day for like somewhere that had a maid, breakfast, and a 1-bedroom villa with a pool. That commitment to a task, yeah, changes things.
There was an annoying lecturer that used to do my head in, but it's mad. I've got a whiteboard that I write things on all the time, and due to him, I got into the habit of always drawing Venn diagrams. Yeah, and that habit came from him. And certain times I'm just laughing. I'm like, this man used to annoy me when he used to be like, do this like this, and blah blah blah, and expand like this. And I was just thinking to myself, brother, you was kind of right, you know. you kind of made things make sense in a certain way. Like, weirdly enough, now I'll be on my board sometimes at night, and I'm writing. And I'm just like, and I'm thinking, I picked all of this up from this one guy that used to annoy the hell out of me all the time. And yeah, it's just little skills you pick along the way, and in life it kind of helps you along, and you kind of use that to help other people now. You know what I mean? Like with training people, like I said, I don't find it like work because I actually enjoy it, and I actually enjoy helping people. But I enjoy helping people to a limit. I can't be a nurse or a doctor. I just, yeah. Them jobs there is like, that's called you truly enjoy helping people, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you see that, bro? I just take my hat off to them, because like the way your every day can be so emotional.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow it just starts again, and you've got to build that whole new relationship with somebody completely different, or or you build relationships with somebody that you know, like they're going through something so hard, and you got to that's
the thing as well. The return for the amount of work you're putting in, it's not, you know what I mean? For me, it's like when I see like people I know who work as nurses over here, I'm like, the return on the amount of hours you put in, I don't feel like it'll be worth my time. But in America, on the other hand, because everything's all private there, like I used to date a nurse from America like a few years ago, 4 years ago, and I remember like I'd be talking to her and she'd be like, babe, I made this week 2,000. I'd be like, huh? She'd be like, yeah, my 4 days. Then I did like a couple hours overtime on top, and I was like, how the hell are you getting paid $2,000?
We hear a lot about like their earnings, and obviously when we put it in dollars, but then also their tax way, and like, like their contribution towards 401k or whatever, and health insurance and X, Y, or Z. So their take home, I think their take homes like they average like 50% or something. But even so, like there are some, I think, particularly, I know, like, I think a lot of the full-time nurses don't like it, but a lot of the what they call, not consultants, the people who come in and come out like contractors in nursing, I think that you can earn good money through that as well.
During the pandemic, so she was telling me, like, I was talking to her and she was like, oh yeah, during the pandemic her normal job was still the same, but she was working, like you said, a contracting job, and they were just booking at hotels because the hospitals didn't have spaces at the time. But she was getting paid $1,200 a day.
Yeah.
So I was like, wait, $100 an hour? She was like, yeah. And she was like, about 8 hours a day, she's doing nothing, just sitting in the room waiting for a patient.
Yeah.
I was like,
bro, like, it's like, but the grass is all, what's funny? The grass is always greener, because it always sounds good until they tell you about that mad day they had where they lost a patient, they built a relationship, the this, the that, whatever. Yeah. And then I hear loads of stuff. Like I hear people, they're like IT consultants, and they're on 250, 350, 400k a year. And then sometimes it sounds mad easy, and then sometimes they go from being on that to being on nothing because you can't get a contract for a period or whatever.
You've got to a certain level now, and you can't go back. Yeah. It's a madness. Yeah.
It's an ego.
Yeah.
It can be ego.
Yeah.
Ego can be our downfall.
Like even the other day I was talking to one of my brethren, and he was originally in the insurance industry, and now his new job, he's getting paid daily rate £700 a day. I was like, so I always say to people, like, it goes back to uni. If you know what courses and what route you're going, don't just go, like the other day Gabriel was saying, don't just go and do business studies because it sounds cool and everyone's doing it. Find something that it's going to get you into a certain field, like you done economics, something that's going to get into a certain field, and you know that from there you could probably branch out into multiple things, but you know that the jobs you're going to get in that field are always going to be high paying jobs. So when he was like, right, $7 bills a day, I was like, brother, you're laughing. and he's working from home.
It is, but then also it does come down to what you actually want to do or what makes you happy. Because, bro, there's some jobs that not that thing, but I know I couldn't be there for the long term. Like, but my mind, like, I'm a person that needs to be outside. I got to be active. And I think we're both fortunate that like we're in fields where like I wake up and I think property and I'm smiling. I'm like, I can't wait to let me get down to that site. Let me go do something like you, like in fitness and PT, and like it's something that you genuinely enjoy. So I think you do have to excel in anything, and it might be the £700 a day job as a contractor or a consultant, but you have to actually enjoy it, because otherwise, where's the longevity, and how do you like find the drive to get up and go to make sure that you go from the £200 a day to 300 to 400 to 500 or whatever it is you want to achieve.
£1,000 a day, It's one of those things that I just always think to myself, long term, especially with the fitness thing. That's why, one, we started the channel. But originally, when we started the channel, I was like, I could put in hardcore video sessions with all my boys who are big in fitness and blah blah blah, but I was just like, it's been done, and it don't show who I am as a person, and it doesn't show my network either. So when we started, I was just like, let's go the route of we're just talking about things we talk about, things that we're trying to get to on a normal day, and bring on people we know who are doing, you know what I mean, things that could inspire the younger youth as well. Then leading on from that, I was just like, right, with the channel now, I could reach the people that I need to reach in regards to things that I'm working on, like for instance the app, the clothing stuff, the Lakey, my boy. So I was just like, the only way I could reach a true network of people who'd like what I'm working on is just literally via YouTube. Like Instagram, it's all nice and that, but the thing with Instagram, a lot of times, the way the algorithm's so messed up now, I don't see most people's posts. I feel like I see the same 30 people every day. So I actually have to go out my way to search for people to see what they post. So it's like, today I went on someone's page and I hadn't seen that they posted in time, and I was just like, rah, they've been posting. So I liked like about 10 of their pictures, then they liked about the same on mine, and they messaged me, it's like, what's good, stranger? I was like, you know what, I've been posting every day, I just ain't seen you. They're like, rah, the same. And I was just like, the algorithm is so messed that people won't know that you're still around. While YouTube now, if people follow your YouTube, they actually proper want to see what you're up to, what you're doing, what you're posting. So when they subscribe now, if I say that, you got a video premiere now, there's people already waiting, there's people already liking, there's people already commenting in the comments before the video's even landed. So it's a thing that now I know that YouTube is more of a true support network. So things I'm working on, I know long term, to expand this fitness scene for me, everything's gonna, like, YouTube's gonna be like a funnel. So the app's just gonna get pushed through it. I'm like, if I only get like 1% of the people who are watching this right now subscribe to my app, let's say by the time next year I'm 100k followers, 1% 100k, 1,000 people, 5 years, 1 million followers, 2 million followers, 1% of that, you get what I'm saying? It just keeps on scaling.
And this thing, and in terms of like the metrics and the algorithms, I saw a few like recent like posts and recent conversations about like Instagram, and they're saying, is it going to be like the next platform to die? The algorithms just don't support the creators, like don't support people that are creating stuff.
It was that young youth that was talking on CEO's thing, because he's a TikToker. And that popped up. That popped up randomly on my TV yesterday. I was just like, you know what? Let me sit back and watch this.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. It's like good stuff. But it's just interesting to see where these different platforms are going. And they're saying, like, obviously people grow up through experiences. So in the same way, it was like, when we talk about like city love, people grew up through city love. But then with anything, like there's to a degree, there's a time, because like people grow up and then they get to the point where they don't engage. Same way. I think
what happened with that crowd as well is, remember, like, so when City Love came out, you were probably like one of the youngest there.
Yeah, but I was like the youngest.
Yeah, so you and I think the youngest people that I used to see there was you, LB Jewelry. You know, we're meant to be there.
We was out from early. Like, we was outside from early. We weren't supposed to be outside.
At these times, we thought we were big boys, but we were even still young. So these times I thought, these little man coming out with us. Let them come along. You know them ones. But these times, I was still young compared to the rest of them lot. Like your cousins' age group and them lot, they were still older to me. But I was moving like I was there. You know what I mean? I was part of their age group. And what happened with that is most people in that age group now have got kids, big families, and the whole party scene's changed. Where they wanted to keep. I was saying to Dio recently about it. I was like, they wanted to keep that look of you wear smart shirts and and trousers. And I said to him, I said, bro, after I started going America and Cancun and Canada and all these places 10 years ago, it ruined that whole scene for me.
Because even now, like Central London, it doesn't matter if you're gonna go Mayfair you can go. I can go in these night trainers and a nice hoodie, and it's cool.
I've walked into Liberty in a tracksuit.
Yeah, no, you can go there. If you go on the right, you go the right. Do you know what I mean?
I've gone into Liberty on a Sunday with a tracksuit, and it was just due to the person's table I was on.
Yeah, the point. And even if like that tracksuit is just, sometimes people could just tell that, cool, you're on some vibes, like, you know what I mean? It can suit right. But the reason I mentioned like a city love is, for example, like say you grow up, everything has a timeline of like, so if your crowd start at 18 and they got 10 years because they're going out until they're 28 regularly. In the same with people that grew up through Instagram, they're using Instagram, but at 28 they might like not like falling off, but stop using Instagram. But then the people next generation have grown up through TikTok. And they're using TikTok. They don't want to hear about Instagram. Like that's not what they use. So you see like these big platforms. They've got to stay current, which is why like Instagram are pushing the reels and trying to pull things back.
What they don't realize, if they go back to the normal algorithm, they will still keep their followers.
Yeah, because it made sense. Like just time order, let me see stuff. And it's like you want to be able to tweak the algorithm a little bit, like.
Because I remember before, like someone saying, "Oh, now you've got like 30,000 plus followers on Instagram. That your reach must be a lot bigger." I said, "No. When I had 3K on the old algorithm, if I put one post now, 70% of people who saw it would like the picture because it was there."
It was there to see. It was just there to see.
It was just there to see. So 70% of people instantly always responded. So I'm like, now it's about 3%, and it's mad. That's due to Instagram just juggling everything. You know what I mean? Literally, they ruined everything. It's one of them things. If it's not broke, don't try and fix it. But
do you know all these apps? Why they do it is because obviously they start out and they're literally like a loss leader. Like they're losing ridiculous amounts of money for a year because they don't make any money. See, before, remember there was no advertising on Instagram, there was no ads, there was no nothing. So it's like all that time they're just suckering you in. It's like the play, like, oh come man, just come for free, come enjoy it, come do whatever. And then at a point they'll be like, right, you gotta pay for this now. And that's what like it was. Say like something like WhatsApp, where WhatsApp's been free for how long? We use WhatsApp, we got so used to using it that if tomorrow, you start seeing an ad on WhatsApp, you be like, I'm just used to it. So that's why it's the long game.
Even with even going back to that now, Instagram now are they're trying to keep up with YouTube. So they've got IGTV. And IGTV now, if you get 33,000 views in the space of 2 months on your IGTV post, they now send you a message saying you can monetize.
I swear.
Yeah, so once you get that, they say you can monetize. So like my brother Quick Sessions now, he posts on IGTV, so every time he puts a post out, all of us should share it on our stories because we know that it's getting him paid, innit? So the more people view it, the more money. So I think they're trying to keep up with YouTube is 55% to the person and 45% to them. So you just get little ads run at the beginning of those people's posts. So if you see someone's IGTV with a little ad, then you know their page is monetized. Yeah.
It's funny though. How do you feel about like monetizing social media and like are you interested in it? Are you not? Like where do you?
You see the thing, I used to use IGTV, especially last year during the first lockdown. I just kind of fell off it. kind of fell off it.
Because for example, like the industry you're in, like your clients make you money, so it's like the like for me it's just all about exposure. I'm not trying to, if somebody tells me, oh, like, you know what, we can pay you £100 to post something, I'm kind of looking at it like, oh, well, do I even want to? Like, because I'm in an industry that makes money, so I think it's kind of strange. But then obviously if you smash it in social media, you can make a ridiculous amount of money.
For instance, pages like Hackney's Finest, they make money from ads. But like, I've had people approach me before about that, but I'm just like, if I'm every day posting ads of different people, it messes up my thing.
It's easier for like because that's their business. Like for like a page like Hackney's Finest or Made You Think, or I'm Just Bait. They post like 50 times a day or 30 times a day, or however many times a day. So if they slide in free ads, it's 10% of their content. Whereas if us, we're just posting actually about what we're doing. So like we can't just, and so there's only going to be certain things. Like say someone's got like something that's mad fitness related, you can kind of slide it in. But you can't just start posting people's music videos or like whatever. It's just gonna look mad.
I'll tell you what I do here. This worked for years, but yeah, you lot could have this one. My page on my story, I always post memes. I tend not to post it on my main page. So on my story I post memes, because I know what people do. People are gonna go on your page to see a meme, they're gonna share. The moment I post that, right after I post the flyer. So you're gonna watch that, and the moment you finish watching it, what I want you to actually see, you're gonna see. Then oh, there's this event coming.
It's still attacking the algorithms.
You have to find multiple ways to beat the algorithm, because they're trying to basically. I know another reason why Instagram does that, because they want people to spend on ads. That's why you see sometimes you be looking at your phone now, you see a random girl pop up that you don't follow, and it's a sponsored post of her posing in her bathroom, and you're like, why am I seeing a sponsored post of you posing in your bathroom with a normal caption? You're not selling me nothing, but it's a thing they're trying to grow their following. So Instagram is forcing these people that feel like the only way they're gonna get big is if they spend.
On that.
But the problem with that now is, once they got you in that spend hold, if you try to put a normal post, it's not going to reach the same way, because they're always going to want you to keep on spending with them, you know what I mean, so that they can constantly extract money from you to grow their business and have you in that, you know what I mean, stuck in that matrix of, oh, if I don't spend now, I'm not going to gain the following I need to one day, blah blah blah. But a lot of people don't realize, if you don't grow your following organically, those people who are following you are not going to be true supporters of. You know what I mean?
You know, like now, you see like the old Instagram, like where you could see what somebody commented, or who's commented on your thing, or who's following, all of that stuff. Like if you, like with your network, had like your followers you got now in that old Instagram, oh, you'd be on like 300k before you even there. But it's a different world now. Like, so I got a friend who does like a fashion page, Too Cozy. They do like just various different fashion stuff and what have you, and they just post like athletes fits or what they're wearing, and they'll get like NBA players and artists, because they post like proper like niche fashion stuff, like repo, like where it's just like it doesn't do anything now. Whereas that used to be like you could blow off something small.
I remember like back in the day, like there was a few other pages like 100 Flavors UK, and they were kind of like similar, where they would post like more on the fashion side of things, and those pages were constantly, you'd see on the Explore page. Now I ain't seen that page in time, but I know it probably still exists. You know what I mean?
Loads of them. Trendset UK. Like what rappers wore. All them. Like you're right though. It's only you saying that. I've realised there's so many pages that I know I follow and just don't come up anymore. Because man, I don't know. It would be interesting to actually sit down to someone who works in these companies, that works in Instagrams, not to find out like they're not going to change it, but to find out actually for them why they changed it.
I'll give you another thing when you spend time abroad and you catch on to the algorithm in another country, you start getting the following from over there. It's weird. Like a prime example, there's a girl I know here, she's from up north Manchester, and last year her page was growing. This year her page got to 120,000 when she went to America. She was in Dubai for a bit, then went to America. She was there for months. Now her page has doubled in that space, because she caught onto the US algorithm out there. And you see when
she ended up on the Explorer page in a whole different market.
So when you end up in that US market, it's a different ball game because, like, take for instance here, let's say like in England, black people make up like 4%. So the market is small. Over there's like 44 million of them, plus the rest of the country. So the moment you catch on to that,
and not to even when sometimes when we say like I think it's like 3.7% or something like they make up, and we think like okay, it's a small amount, but then at the same time, because of the way like black culture like drives so much, that percentage has got a mad multiplier. Like you see what like we're doing when it comes to like charts. You see it when you look at festivals and the lineups. Like they don't look like we make up 3 and a bit percent.
It's like someone was complaining on the internet about Love Island and the diversity in the cast members. Then Lin May tweeted something yesterday and she was like, "Raw, that percent reflects fully on the diversity." Because she was like, "Raw, 90% of the nation or 88% of the nation is white." So she's like, there's one black girl, one black boy, and there's I think like then there's I think a mixed race girl as well. So she was like, "Oh, it kind of even makes up a bit more." Then someone said, "Oh, the England team."
The England team, but then even that, like we're talking about, it's like, you know, you look at the England team, sometimes you think like the England football, like they'll allow. They'll let the brothers through, but they won't ever let there be too much sauce on the pitch at once. Like they can't have Sancho on with Sterling. They're like, look, it's one or the other. It's funny.
I was laughing because when the person wrote the comment, the England team, then I just looked, I was just like, "Rah, for real, the England team." You know what I mean?
The brothers are there right now.
But it's like the same thing if you go France. The French team has been like that for years. The French team is basically Africa United. That's what it is. The French team is Africa United. So when people mention the diversity thing, I was like, "Raw, like it's kind of true," because I can see where white people might complain on that aspect. Where before, because what was yesterday? Yesterday was Windrush Day, innit? Before the Windrush era, they probably, most of this older generation, the 70 plus, they weren't used to seeing any of us. So now that we're always on their TV, it must still be a shock to some of them. But now when you fast forward, the thing is like England is London is more multicultural. I can't even say the whole of England because I remember when I used to play rugby and I go to certain areas, but I'm like the only black you within 20 miles.
My mum's white, dad's black. Like growing up, like mum's from Devon, like South Coast. I remember like you know, vaguely remember this, and it's like I remember they're so used to not seeing black people or mixed race people that they assumed I was adopted because they didn't even understand the concept of mixed race. Like that. So I think being in London, now obviously that was like 20 odd years ago, but being in London, we're in a bit of a bubble where we don't realise how non-diversified the UK is. Because in London, if you ask people that like haven't heard stats, they probably say, black people make up like 30% of the UK because of London. But as soon as you step outside of London, where you can go places and not see any, not if you're black, anyone of colour, you cannot see anyone.
It's not even as far as even stepping too far out of London. So 20 minutes down the road, there's times I go 20 minutes down the road.
Like Carl Shorters or something.
or Godstone. And I park up in them ends and I go into the shop. Brother, there's no black guys in that area, I'll tell you that for free. Like, everyone's just like, like, what's my man doing right there? You know them ones. So it's a thing that people don't understand, that because London is where the majority, I'll say probably like 4/5 of black people in UK probably live. Then you got Birmingham and Manchester. Then all these little towns, there's not that much.
There's not the same diversity.
There's not the same diversity. So it's a thing that like people don't realise, those little towns are the ones who people ain't got much to do, and those are the TV watchers. You get what I'm saying?
You can't hear seriously stuff like that. It's national TV, it's not London TV.
It's not London TV, so that's where you have to take that into consideration, where it's like
I guess what would be interesting to know is where people actually come from in Love Island. Because if like they're all from London, they ain't got an excuse. Whereas if they're from all over the UK and then it's not really an excuse. I still want to see the brothers on TV, but you know, it's slightly more understandable.
It's sure because I know a few of the brothers like from previous episodes, like previous seasons, like Naz, Ched, and Ovi. So I know Ovi from basketball. Okay. And me and Ched just bust joke like nearly every day with memes and all of that. Like Ched is probably one of the funniest people I know, but you wouldn't even think that. But he's like one of the funniest people I know. But it's one of those things that them shows there. Sometimes when the brothers go on the shows, I'm like, rah, what is your plan after?
But now it's just a bag, isn't it? Like you go on those shows and you're guaranteed to get like not guaranteed. If you're liked on the show, but a decent bag. Like you look at what some of those people like the Molly Mays, like the people that blew or the Kaz Crossleys, like they're
gone.
Molly's serious. But then even people that didn't win it or whatever and didn't have a mad, if you are likable and come out of that show, but I think back to the old school. Like, do you remember? Like, well, this is so. Do you remember like when it wasn't really black people on Big Brother? Do you remember Victor?
Yeah.
Well, like that was a different time. That's when they couldn't fathom like somebody that was kind of a little bit mandem like.
Remember Brian with the perm hair?
No, but Brian didn't represent us.
He didn't represent us at all.
Brian was like the second black girl Big Brother. He did not represent us.
No, the Brian era was joke. I just looked at him and I was like, rah, my man is definitely from Essex, where.
But that's what they picked as like the second black guy to be on Big Brother. They picked Brian.
My man is from fully Essex. Remember with the perm? I was like, oh my god. And he had blue contacts. I was like, where did he find him from? He don't represent any of us in this part of London. But yeah, those shows that I always think to myself, rah, like if you're not exactly what we said, if you're not a likable character, them shows ain't for you.
Do you know what though? It's
you know what? There's a few girls who've been on them shows. They're back to normal. Yeah, because they've gone on them shows, they've not been liked, and boom, they haven't really grown a network from it.
And that's where like you have to. Are you willing for the bag to be that bit fake, to be the person they want you to be? To do you know what I mean? To get that network or to get wherever. But
and I feel as well with them shows, like every year that comes.
Diluted a bit.
Yeah,
because it's like I remember I met like really nice girl from East Africa. I think she won X Factor or The Voice. I can't remember which one of the shows it was. Like last 2019. But it's like because the show's not what it once was. Like before, you win The Voice. I don't even know who that is. Like but you're on 1 million followers, you got a deal, whatever. And like we're speaking on the socials, like I didn't realize it was her, like kind of like 25,000 followers, etc. Because this year on year, the kind of the value of the show gets depleted a little bit. And I think same. But right now, Love Island's still in its peak, man. It's gonna come out.
It's gonna especially now that everyone is still semi-lockdown mode. Everyone's gonna be every day 10 o'clock in front of the TV.
I'm about to get out of here, bro. Listen, I'm about to get out of here. I don't know where, but I'm going. I'm trying to, you know what I mean, facilitate. But I'm registered like as a resident in Dubai as well. So I'm over there, got a business over in Dubai. So I actually need to go there. But it's just I can go there, but having to sit in a hotel and pay them £1,400 to sit in a.
It's dead. That's why Sir Michael, he's moving September.
Okay.
Same thing. He said, I've had enough. Said all these lockdowns, it just had him feeling demotivated. So he's like, he might as well go Dubai. Stay up there.
I had a friend that got stuck in Bali, like because they weren't flashbacks. They had to stay in Bali for like the first lockdown. They were there paying because there was no one there. They were paying like £20 a day for like somewhere that had a maid, breakfast, and a 1-bedroom villa with a pool. They were just chilling for 3 months, just working remotely. I said, yo, listen, I couldn't have got stuck in Bali for a little while, but I could have.